Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Jamesville-DeWitt Central High School here in DeWitt, New York. My name is Sam Gelfand, joined by my broadcast partner Tyler Aitken, as the PSLA at Fowler Falcons come in to take on your Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams. This should be an interesting matchup.
Absolutely. Jamesville-DeWitt is definitely looking to rebound from their tough 1-point loss to CBA last Saturday. They really want to get a win tonight.
So we're going to take a look at the starting lineups real quick. For the Red Rams, it's going to be James Cerrone, Gunther Schnorr, Brian King, Marshall Withers, and Preston Shumpert. And for the Fowler Falcons, Jaden Reyes, Andrew Rivers III, Jalen Brantley, Kevin Alvarez, and Amir Anderson. Now let's take a quick look at today's players on a rampage. Preston Shumpert, always one to watch out for the Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams. The senior guard put up 27 points in that first game against CBA. We talk about Falcons. Well, he has vision and flight like a raptor, like a hawk. He was an all-SCAC first-team selection last year and an all-state honorable mention.
I think one thing we want to look at for Preston Shumpert tonight is three-point shooting. He shot lights out in the first quarter last game. Let's see if he can do the same today.
And Jalen Brantley for the Fowler Falcons, the senior guard at 6', 175, averaging 21.4 points per game through 5 games. He is the key to this Fowler offense, and the key for JD is going to be stopping him. He is also their longest tenured player. This is his 4th year. Also plays football. I got to tell people in the gym what's going on. We'll be right back right after this. Well, it looks like someone didn't turn the PA system on, so we're back a little bit earlier than anticipated. Once again, Sam Gelfand and Tyler Aitken bringing you this contest between the PSLA at Fowler Falcons and your Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams. Thank you so very much for joining us here live on YouTube with JDTV. Here for the tip-off is going to be Brian King and Amir Anderson. We are underway. JD getting possession early. And now we see the game management skills of James Cerrone coming into play. Shumpert passes it into Cerrone, who puts up 2 right off the bat.
You could see Coach Ike drawing up that play right before the start of the game. So great vision and great execution by Jamesville-DeWitt.
Dribble around the back by Brantley. Hits Rivers at the top of the key. Now to Reyes. Reyes back to Rivers. Rivers trying to muscle through. It's Brantley under heavy coverage. 3 people there, and he still finds the basket.
Jamesville-DeWitt's going to need to find some more help defense there if they want to be able to stop him.
Cerrone passes to no one in particular. Tracked down by Schnorr. Now to Withers. They think they can guard him just by keeping him beyond the arc, but they clearly have not encountered Withers or Preston Shumpert. Even if that 3 points is a little awry, they are 2 of the best 3-point shooters, as I say, as they go 0 for 2.
Still there, great hustle by Gunther Schnorr on that rebound. Way to dive on the ground and give Jamesville-DeWitt a second chance.
It will be a Fowler ball, though. So we are quickly tied at 2 apiece. Hand off to Alvarez, out to Rivers. Now Reyes controlling. It's Brantley. 3-2 zone employed by JD. Little fadeaway is going to be short. Fades away from the basket too, I suppose. And it's a JD ball. So Cerrone will take it down court himself. Schnorr to the corner. It's King on the run, floats it in. Now we speak of Cerrone. He has 2 points tonight, but in the scrimmage against West Hill, before the season really started, he put up 19 points. We got to see if he's going to have an offensive explosion like that at some point, as Amir Anderson puts up his first 2 of the game.
He has great shooting and great vision, so he will find his own shot if he's able to tonight.
And speaking of finding shots, Withers just a little bit short. Double teamed, pivoting, and it goes over King. He should have had it, and he knows it.
Jamesville-DeWitt's definitely going to try to play a little bit faster tonight. Fowler only has 2 subs, so JD really wants to run the floor and tire out the Falcons players. That could provide a great advantage in the second half.
JD has 13 players on the roster. Technically, Fowler has 11, but it looks like they only brought 7 people today. Jaden Reyes dribbles between the legs over to Rivers. Rivers cannot penetrate, so he gives it to Alvarez. Quick bounce pass. Now Alvarez from beyond the arc. Off the glass. Rebounded by Cerrone. Now it's Preston Shumpert. Passes it down to Schnorr. No good. Brantley goes up, but the basket goes down without scoring. 5 minutes have gone by. This is your time to make the mistakes now, because you're going to be you've got plenty of time to try and fix them as we go on.
That's right. As the time works off the clock, there's less and less room for error.
Brantley under heavy coverage tries to break through, but finds nothing but iron. Now it's King. Pass to Withers. Sets up beyond the arc. And Withers looking unusually inaccurate tonight. That shot doesn't count. There's a hold, the referee says. So we'll start over from the line. Don't forget, if you have opinions or comments on this game, we have a comment section. We have it up right here, and we're looking at what you're saying. And if you like what you say, might even get read on the air. Withers gives it to Preston Shumpert. Back to Withers. Around to King, who will try his hand from beyond the arc, but doesn't work out in his favor. Rebounded by the Falcons. Now it's Brantley. The Red Rams so quick to double team him immediately. Taken down court by Schnorr. Bounce pass to Shumpert. Getting a little physical in the lane. Withers misses the little put-in shot, and he cannot get an accurate pass to King, but good job keeping that from being a backcourt violation. Schnorr given all the time in the world, and even King can't put that in. That was a lot of wasted opportunities.
Absolutely. Definitely something JD will want to clean up throughout the rest of the game.
This is only JD's second game of the season. The Falcons have already played 5. And perhaps that inexperience working together as a team could work against them, as Michael Robinson puts in 2.
Look at that as a mismatch all night. He's a very tall player, and Jamesville-DeWitt doesn't really have anyone to match up with him, so they could look to expose that mismatch throughout the night.
Preston Shumpert with the fadeaway. And the All-State honorable mention kept quiet through the first few minutes. At this rate, that may be Fowler's greatest accomplishment of the game, if they are able to get a little less noise out of Shumpert.
That would definitely be very helpful. He's a very prolific scorer, so anything even slowing him down is extremely helpful.
Neither of these teams has a win yet this season. They're both hoping for their first tonight. Brantley tries to get around. All the way across, and that's Gunther Schnorr playing heads-up defense. Wow, look at that recovery. And Withers with a jumper off the glass.
Beautiful steal from Schnorr, diving down the court, barely saving it, and making a very accurate pass to result in a layup. Exactly what JD needed.
Gunther Schnorr with incredible presence of mind as Brantley benefits from a pick, but can't get much further than that, so they're going to have to go from a little bit more distance, and that works against Reyes. Now Alvarez, closely guarded by Withers, and it goes out of bounds. Take a look one more time. What a save by Gunther Schnorr, sliding on the ground overhead, and then Withers with a picture-perfect finish. Brantley can't get that quick shot off in time, but he's able to carve a path. It is taken out of his hands, though. Now it's Reyes to Brantley from downtown. Doesn't work. Cerrone. His hand is forced. Withers doing what he can to keep it away. Cerrone now only one person in the lane. Shumpert has plenty of time. And he drops the mic.
Jamesville-DeWitt really needed to get him going. Hopefully he can keep that hot hand.
First three-pointer and first points of the night for Preston Shumpert. He had 4 three-pointers in that first game, along with 7 two-pointers. And Robinson called for a travel, took a little hop as he tried to get closer to the basket. Sometimes it's hard to remember you got to keep your feet planted. Withers over to Kaib, yet to have his first points this season. Kaib at the top of the key. Now Cerrone fakes a shot. Little handoff to Withers didn't work out. Now there's 4 people. He has no choice but to let that go out of bounds.
Withers has already had 3 or 4 offensive rebounds here. Absolutely spectacular from him, especially when he hasn't been shooting from 3 as well as he usually does.
Withers finding ways to be productive even if they're not what he's used to. Now Kaib hesitates, and it's caught on the glass. Get me that replay. Johnny Kaib gets the ball wedged perfectly. We're back underway. 1 minute left in the first quarter. Like you said, Tyler, the Red Rams trying to work fast tonight. Alvarez with the pass to Rivers. Rivers clangs iron. Cerrone to Withers, and no one there for Schnorr, who gets a basket. Schnorr had 5 points in the first game. 2 tonight, 30 seconds. Three-pointer does not work out in Alvarez's favor. Withers blocked 100% by Jalen Brantley, but draws a foul.
That was a great defensive hustle play by Brantley, regardless of what the call was. And now Jamesville-DeWitt will look to hit some free throws here.
Brantley came flying out of nowhere, demonstrating the athleticism, which clearly shows why he's scoring 21 points per game. But Withers is going to the line, and that is a problem for the Falcons. Withers hit .844 from the charity stripe last year. Makes his second. Did he make the first? Did he make his first? Did he make his first free throw? Yeah. So Withers 2 for 2. It is 13-6, 3 seconds. Brantley trying to get that last shot off the fadeaway. It's a beauty. But it's a little too early to tell if that's going to be decisive, as it's 13-8 at the end of the first quarter.
Definitely still anybody's game here. Both teams playing pretty well on offense, and there have been some great defensive plays, good hustle plays by both teams.
Now, we've been talking about Preston Shumpert. Why don't we take a closer look at him with today's Fast Fact? You know, he was actually born in France when his father, Preston Shumpert Sr., of course, 4th all-time in three-pointers for Syracuse University, was playing over there. His dad, a 2-time All-Big East first-team selection. In his spare time, he enjoys four-wheeling and playing video games, and he says he believes in aliens.
I certainly don't know if I believe in them, but very interesting that that's something he chooses to care so much about.
Well, you know, some people are kind of passionate about it. I say, well, you know what? There's infinite numbers of galaxies and stars. I wouldn't be surprised, at least. Well, actually, technically, we've already found them because we found microbial life on Mars.
Yeah.
So even if it's single-celled organisms, that's technically an alien.
So he might be right.
His belief is correct. If you want to chime in if we're getting the science wrong, please let us know in the comments section.
Neither of us are biologists or scientists at all.
No, but there might be one out there. And it looks like there might have been a problem with the clock. They're putting it at 7:52. They want to start things off again. Oh no, start at 8, he just said. So they're going to reset the clock, and now this is the start of the second quarter. Well, that was unnecessarily confusing. Shumpert with the pass to Anand. Back to Shumpert inside. Shumpert muscles his way in. Overshot. 1, 2, 3 times he attempts to get it back into the basket, and finally Amir Anderson has to take it away and say, nope, you're not playing with that any longer. But Shumpert finds a way anyway.
Great steal there by Brian King. Great pass to Shumpert.
15-8. At this point, it might end up looking like more of a closer game than people might have anticipated. Big charge. The Red Rams and the Falcons are actually fairly comparable this year in points scored and points allowed, as you see the charge there from Brantley. Anderson to Rivers. And a pinball's out. Now it's Daniel Anand with a pass to Johnny Kibe. Cerrone. Kibe hands it off to Shumpert. He was not the intended receiver of that pass, so he had to give a handoff. Cerrone has it swiped away by Brantley, who gives it to Rivers.
A little bit of a sloppy pass there from Shumpert.
Passing might be something that this team needs to work on as the season continues. The jumper from Brantley, his 6th point of the night. Anand to Kibe to Shumpert from the wing. Overshot just slightly. Rebound snatched by Brantley. Now Brantley takes it across himself, slows his own momentum down to give him the time needed to put up yet another basket. Impressively disrupting the rhythm of his defenders as Shumpert he can push through any obstacle in his way.
And that's something they're going to want to do more and more as the game goes on. We saw last game, Jamesville-DeWitt opened with a lot of threes and they were making them, and they kept shooting as they started missing later in the game. So driving to the basket is something that Jamesville-DeWitt will want to emphasize as this game goes on. It's a safer play for them, and they know they can hit their shots inside.
Adapting is the key to success. As Cerrone realizes there is no one in his way. Happy birthday. It's not actually his birthday.
No, it's not, but again, great job weaving through the defense.
You know what? You know whose birthday it is today, actually?
Whose birthday is it today, Sam?
It is JDTV's 1-year anniversary today.
Wow.
2 years ago today, as it looks like Brantley had to stop for something. 2 years ago today, we set up for the first time at Onondaga Community College, prepping for that playoff game against East Syracuse Manoa.
And look how far we've come. Big thanks to Sam Gelfand on play-by-play for starting this all up for Jamesville-DeWitt.
Well, what can I say? This all happened because of me. And Brantley tries to make everything happen himself, instead snatched away by Schnorr. Schnorr out to Withers. Double teamed to Shumpert. Shumpert into the key. Hands it off to King. Off the glass. That is textbook. And King's best points of the season at 4.
Great job penetrating by the Red Rams and looking for passers once 2 defenders collapse on them.
Rivers out to Alvarez, and it doesn't work. Shumpert, no one there for Withers. Anand pokes it in. You're not exactly going to see Withers go vertical, though I'd like to see it. But we might still get a couple of dunks out of Shumpert yet.
Hopefully we'll get a chance to see that.
And one from Anand.
Always fun to see some throwdowns, especially in high school basketball.
Those were the first 3 points in Anand's high school career. Congratulations. Now Rivers out to Brantley. Brantley tries to weave through. Double teamed out to Rivers. And Rivers keeps trying those threes, but he's yet to hit them. A block called on Rivers. And once again, against Withers on Rivers. And Withers gets to go to the line.
Quite the tongue twister there.
Actually, I don't know if I said the name right the first time anymore.
I think we figured it out.
Well, unusually, Withers misses his first.
Again, these free throws, a product of Jamesville-DeWitt pushing the ball up the court fast. Their last several points have come off of fast breaks.
Withers 3 for 4 from the stripe as a 30-second timeout is called by Fowler. And you want to know something interesting about Fowler's head coach, actually. Preston Shumpert just took over last year. This is his second season. His father is not only the former Corcoran head coach, but the JV coach, who we just saw. Came as a package deal.
Definitely an interesting dynamic. You'd expect the father to be the varsity coach, but I think it's definitely a sign, family helping family out, making sure that they build the program and the culture that they want to.
Unfortunately, it has been 398 days since the last time that Fowler won a game. It's been 363 for Jamesville-DeWitt. That was against East Syracuse Manoa. Let's take a look at what got us to this point. Shumpert all the way down court to Withers, and the bounce pass to Anand. Drawing the foul, his first 2 points in his high school varsity career. Anand just a junior. He's got another year of this. Brantley and Butterfingers from Michael Robinson. Happens to the best of us. Just got the fingertips, could not get the whole hand on it.
Great screen there by Robinson.
Rivers out to Brantley. Top of the key, decides he'll take it himself. It is a white ball. Hit just the corner of the black on the court there. Is the word I'm looking for. You'd think I'd know it. We're doing basketball.
This is just our third night of basketball. We were doing swimming before that, so that mistake could happen to anybody. Still getting into the swing of things, just as JD is on the court, because that's what it's called. Withers to Schnorr. Feet on the line. It's going to count for 3, though. So Schnorr gets himself some extra credit. 28-12 as Reyes goes round the horn to Alvarez. Back to Reyes. Now it's Brantley. You were talking about Fowler getting tired. This might be where it starts to come into play. Reyes bounce pass to Alvarez. Touch a little too soft. Shumpert playing some board games. Takes it across himself, slings it to Withers with enough power that he almost fumbled it, but he still puts up the layup. Great readjustment in midair by Withers, and again, great job pushing up the court by the Red Rams.
Tried to keep it away between the legs of Anderson, who gets knocked down, and now Cerrone on the fast break himself. Pass to Schnorr, back to Cerrone. Blocked by Brantley, so they give it to Anand. Out to Shumpert, over to Withers. Withers driving through the lane off the glass, it rolls off. Schnorr got some fingers on it. Withers out to Shumpert. Shumpert, the fadeaway, it's beautiful, and it's 2 points.
One thing we don't want to forget tonight, Withers has 5 offensive rebounds already. An insane amount, especially for a guard. That's definitely helped give Jamesville-DeWitt some second opportunities already.
How are you keeping track of that mentally?
It stood out to me once he got 2 in 1 possession, and ever since then it's been very impressive to see how hard he crashes the boards.
Well, there's less than 2 minutes left in the first half, and Fowler's down by 20. Not if Kevin Alvarez has anything to say about it. He puts up his first 3 points of the night. So Cerrone will slow things down a little bit. Little spin move, hands off to Schnorr, who literally gets to take a free throw. To say that was effective play calling would be an understatement. Completely took the Falcons off guard.
Exactly, and you saw Schnorr there got to take his time on the free throw, even though it wasn't even a free throw. Set his feet, take his time. Great passing by James Cerrone.
Take a look at it again. It's like Schnorr set up for a pick and then just didn't move, but the players were distracted, parted like the Red Sea. There was nothing they could do about that. The Red Sea wouldn't be a terrible name for the student section here.
No, it wouldn't. Typically, actually Rams come, a group of Rams come in a group called a flock, so typically that's what they call themselves, but that would not be a bad name either.
Seagulls also come in a flock.
They do. And a seagull and a ram are 2 very different animals.
It would be difficult yet also impressive to confuse the two. Now Anderson over to Brantley. Brantley gets around 2 people and puts up a beautiful shot. 10 points on the night for Brantley. There's a minute left in the first half. Withers. Now it's Schnorr. Shot by Cerrone. That's Brendan Koberger fighting for it inside the key. And that's Ben Schellinger, who couldn't put it up the first time. And Koberger will get those 2 points. That seemed to be a scoreboard malfunction. The shot clock was not reset, causing the disruption. There's 25 seconds on the clock. And now Brantley is going to try to walk it out and get that final shot. JD Bench coming alive. Brantley with the jumper. And his pancakes on the griddle. Now can they get that final? Well, you know, if that was more on target, that actually would have, that had a chance of going in. Credit to Gunther Schnorr for giving his all.
I always appreciate it when the players throw up a last-second shot. It might hurt their shooting percentage, but if there's even a tiny percent of a chance of scoring for your team, you always want to take it.
He tossed it like a javelin. It was kind of impressive, actually. So that is the end of the first half. Your Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams are leading over the Fowler Falcon. We're off the air. No, I mean, there's no mics when this is up. Just go to, Scorebug or something. Okay, sorry about that. We hit a wrong button. We were trying to say we appreciate you sticking with us here. My name is Sam Gelfand, joined by Tyler Aitken. We'll be right back in 9 minutes and 15 seconds, according to the game clock, as the Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams lead the Fowler Falcons 36-19. We'll be back right after halftime. Don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Jamesville-DeWitt Central High School here in DeWitt, New York. Sam Gelfand and Tyler Aitken on the call as the Red Rams are currently leading the Fowler Falcons 36-19. The second half is about to get underway right now. Thank you so very much for joining us here live on YouTube. Great to see all of you out there. We got about 100 people watching.
It's awesome to see so many people interested in hearing and seeing Jamesville-DeWitt basketball.
Looks like they might still be having a couple of problems with the scoreboard there, but it's a Fowler ball right now. Rivers, guarded by King, over the head of his intended recipient. They're not going to call that a backcourt violation.
Nope, it's only if the player that catches the ball catches it in front of the line and then goes behind it.
That is a double dribble, though, on
That
Michael
is a double
Brantley.
dribble.
Sorry, Jalen Brantley. Now James Cerrone takes it across half court, dribbles behind himself, swings it out to Shumpert. There's been so many missed shots, I'm running out of synonyms.
Neither team has shot particularly well from outside today.
Brantley gets one in, but he has to go so much closer to the basket. That's his 12th of the day.
He's been one of the more accurate shooters today.
And that was a little bit of fire and blind from Gunther Schnorr, put too much behind it. Now Reyes, snatched up by Withers. And it rolls off, so that will not be an and one.
Just want to point out another great hustle play by Gunther Schnorr. Thought he got fouled on that shot, and instead of complaining to the ref, sprinted back and got the steal.
So now Brian King will get to go to the line. King actually did not shoot a single free throw in all of 2020. This is the first time we're going to see how he does from the stripe. Well, there's some promise on that. But he does not make either one. By the way, shout out to the cheerleaders who are here today, but standing right underneath our camera. So we can't actually see them, but they're there. You can certainly hear them as Brantley gets fouled.
James Cerrone still has his hands up, trying to show that he didn't think he fouled Brantley, but the refs clearly disagreed.
That is Brantley's 15th free throw of the season. He leads this team by quite a bit. Second most is Gilbert Del Rosario Morel with 9. Preston Shumpert shakes Brantley. Penetrating the defense is Schnorr. And it is a contest between Cerrone and Amir Anderson. J.D. Baldo on the jump ball. Withers, still not quite into form. Shumpert gets 2 rebounds in a row, and he is finally able to bring it down. Another rebound for Withers. Starting to become a pattern here. Now Withers slows it down to Cerrone. What can you say about Marshall Withers and his three-pointer that has not already been said?
I honestly don't know what to say. Sometimes it leaves me speechless how accurate he is from behind the line.
It's honestly a spectacle when he puts it all together. Rivers to Reyes. And a dribbling foul will make it a J.D. ball. It's 41-22.
It's the first 3-second violation we've seen all year. It'll be interesting to see if maybe being tired a little bit will make them more stagnant on offense, and we'll see more of those calls against Fowler.
Of course, Fowler does benefit from just having halftime, but they're not going to be as fresh as they started the game. Withers to Shumpert. Shumpert figured out where to go. GPS takes him to the destination.
Shumpert is always so deliberate with where he wants to put the ball when he drives to the basket.
That is court vision at its finest as Brantley makes fadeaways at their finest. "30-second timeout. And we'll take a look at Shumpert's play one more time. Excuse me, that is Withers and his beautiful three-pointer. So a 30-second timeout taken by Fowler. It's nice to have the cheerleaders back. It really is.
It is. We were very lucky at Jamesville-DeWitt basketball, boys and girls basketball, boys ice hockey, and cheerleading were all approved to come back for a shortened winter season. Always great to see as many athletes as possible get a chance to work on their craft.
Unfortunately, I was told the cheerleaders not allowed to go on the court during timeouts, so they're still right underneath our camera. Once again, JD possession. Cerrone calls a play. Fowler really getting aggressive. That's Sandy Fan. Those are his first minutes of the game as well. And speaking of first minutes, for the first time this season we get to see Narelle Neal in the number 33 for JD.
He's about the only guy that has the size to take on Robinson from Fowler, so hopefully he'll help Jamesville-DeWitt on the interior on both ends of the court.
Both of them standing about 6'3", 6'4", as Cerrone misses his first. We'll have to see what kind of a defensive asset Neal is. Didn't get too many minutes last year. But Cerrone goes 1 for 2. He has 5 points tonight. Brantley doing some impressive handles really just to impress himself. Got to psych yourself up. Alvarez tried to pass it to Brantley instead. Withers called for a foul, and he does not believe it.
He's in disbelief right now. I'm pretty sure he thought that went out of bounds on Fowler. And yeah, Withers didn't even touch the ball there. Unfortunate call for him.
Well, the refs are not perfect, and frankly, it'd be a little bit more boring if they were. That's a travel. Once again, Michael Robinson's had that problem today, taking too many steps underneath the basket.
And it looks like Narelle Neal was able to provide the pressure needed to cause that mistake.
So now Cerrone takes it across half court. It's Schnorr over to Cerrone. Now Shumpert, so comfortable from that distance, but he does undershoot it here, rebounded by Robinson. Hand off to Brantley. Brantley facing the pressure, opts for a jumper, it's wide left. Now Shumpert getting a little bit physical, and without a line of sight on the basket, still finds a way to put the pancakes on the griddle.
Euro step from the man born in Europe. Great layup and a great steal.
Preston Shumpert can truly do it all. No one there. And the layup finds its destination for Marshall Withers. The Sheriff really getting it going, finally.
Definitely heating up in the third quarter. Jamesville-DeWitt loves to see that.
Reyes with a pass. Swings it around to Brantley. Shot clock violation. And now there has to be a referee conference. There might have been something going on at the scoreboard again.
Coach Ike talking with the referees right now. He wanted another 3-second violation called on Robinson there. Looks like he's not going to get it.
You know, Coach Ike at least being courteous about it. He has not always been so in his career.
Definitely taking a more quiet and toned approach than he has in the past.
But as a coach, that's part of your responsibilities. You have to get fired up for your players, as that's a travel on Brantley.
Another great defensive play by Narelle Neal, and the Jamesville-DeWitt bench is getting fired up by that. It's the second travel he's caused in the past 3 possessions.
And now Brantley arguing with the referee. Now he's got to watch himself. He doesn't want to get thrown out here. Partially because I can only imagine the implications of academic integrity and whatnot. but also because he is by far the leading scorer for this Fowler squad, and it would also leave Fowler with only one player on the bench. Now Withers, little stop and go under the basket, out to Shumpert. And a full timeout taken by Coach Jeff Ike of JD. That beautiful three-pointer doesn't count. So you've got 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Oh, just missed the cartwheel. Take another look at the fast break. Shumpert with the Euro step. He didn't even see the basket when he made that. Just incredible basketball instincts on Preston Shumpert.
Seems like he has eyes in the back of his head sometimes with the passes he makes and the way he's able to shoot at the basket, even when he can't see it.
Maybe he's the alien.
Four-eyed alien. That's what he looks like on the court with how well he's playing.
Have we found a new nickname?
I don't know. I guess we'll figure that out. Preston the Alien Shumpert? I don't know about that.
It's not great.
We'll
there are
find
better
by the
ones.
end of the season.
And in the meantime, Koberger finds his second basket of the game. Those are his first 4 points in his varsity career. He was a late season call-up for playoffs in 2020, but he did not actually get to play. Now Brantley, held beyond the arc. Defensive pressure from JD off the fingers of Sandy Fan. He's only 5'8". That's a problem when you're having to pass over the defense. Cerrone is not exactly the tallest either, standing at 5'9", but he's found a way to cement himself. Shumpert undershoots it. Withers, in compensation, overshoots it.
And again, 6th offensive rebound by Marshall Withers here. For a guard his height, truly impressive performance on the offensive glass.
6 rebounds. You cannot escape the long arm of the law. And there's another example. The Sheriff, Marshall Withers, with a pass over to Preston Shumpert, back to Withers. Now it's Cerrone. Matt Keeler in this game now. He passes to Cerrone. At the top, benefits from the pick. Stop and go jumper is off the mark and rebounded by Brantley. Brantley drops the ball quite literally. Picked up by Withers. Just lacks a decent finish. That's the 6'3" junior Brendan Koberger. That's just inexperience. He'll get there in time. Brantley seemed to think about a three-pointer, but that would have been quite the distance.
That's an unfortunate foul call on Cerrone. Seemed to fall back onto the Fowler's legs as he shot.
So that basket does count. And now Amir Anderson will go for the and one. Not on the cards tonight. 1:04 left in the third quarter. JD up 50-26. Once again, we thank you for joining us here live on JD TV. Sam Gelfand and Tyler Aitken bringing you this action, as Cerrone cannot bring down the three-pointer, but he's able to poke it out of the hands of Jaden Reyes. Keeler to Koberger, who has plenty of time, and Preston Shumpert chips it in.
Offensive boards, both in the last game against CBA and today, have been the bread and butter for Jamesville-DeWitt's offense. Second opportunities are very key to them.
And a good little layup by Jaden Brantley. Shumpert and Brantley now tied in scoring tonight at 17 points apiece. Cerrone has 15 seconds to work with. Tries to go to the net, it's wide right. Rebounded by Brantley, 8 seconds. Brantley, crossover dribble. 1 second, can he put it up in time? Yes, but it doesn't go in. So at the end of 3 quarters, your Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams up 52-28 against the Fowler Falcons.
It was certainly a closer game in the first quarter, but Jamesville has done a very good job in pulling away, both offensively and defensively. It seems like, as we predicted earlier in the game, pushing the ball has helped create a situation where Fowler is just tired.
So let's take a look at what we got coming up next. Join us back here on March 5th at 5 p.m. as the Fayetteville Manlius Hornets come into town. We'll have the JV contest first, and then right after that at 7 p.m., your Red Rams will take on FM in varsity action, and that should be quite a game.
It'll definitely be a really good game. We've got a lot of talent on both teams. Trevor Rowe, another son of a former Syracuse basketball player, starring for the Fayetteville Manlius Hornets, so it'll be a great matchup. Lots of three-point shooting to be had there. Actually, tonight is one of only 2 in-conference games scheduled for the Red Rams this season. The last one will be against East Syracuse Manoa on March 13th. So the Red Rams pretty much mathematically impossible to win the conference. Unfortunately, it's just the situation they were put in.
Brantley is fouled going to the lane, as we are now in the 4th and final quarter. It looks like we are going to see some players from the JD bench getting some playing time. Coach Ike not afraid to rotate. Brantley makes one. Though you do kind of want to see Shumpert inflate his point totals.
It would be nice, always nice to fill out the stat sheet, so he might get a chance later in the game. We'll have to see.
Brantley 3 for 4 from the free throw line, as Gunther Schnorr, who's really been a rock on offense and defense, has it taken away from him, picked up by Anderson. Now it's Brantley at point guard. Three people in the lane, he's fouled. I have to imagine that the slower pace that we're now seeing in this 4th quarter could benefit Fowler, as it's going to prevent JD from putting anything together.
That, along with more free throws being taken in the second half, giving them some extra time to rest.
Brantley does not make his first. But he hits his second. 4 for 6 from the stripe. As we're seeing Josh Aitken get some minutes now. Your brother, actually.
Yep, my brother, first minutes of the season. Always great to see some guys get in the game.
That's all he is to you, just another guy?
When I'm reporting on the game, absolutely.
Now that's the journalistic professionalism that we're trying to encourage here at JDTV. Johnny Kibe with his first point in his career. We've talked about it before. Johnny Kibe, a superstar in lacrosse and soccer as well, filling out the roster for basketball this season as he's 2 for 2 from the stripe.
We're seeing Robinson come back in for Fowler. Could provide a big size mismatch inside.
Well, the Red Rams still have a, 23-point lead? 54-31?
Starting to become out of reach. 23 points, correct.
So they've got a bit of cushion, even if there is a size mismatch. And they're counting on it. 6:45 left in the game. Brantley still playing as hard as he can. Goes hard into the paint. A little too hard to travel. And it's Jaden Reyes who can't believe that call. The pass in over the hands of Kibe. So it's Brantley with the ball right back on his own half. He weaves through the defense so effortlessly as Preston Shumpert now back in this game. Reyes can't make the layup. Rebound by Kaib. Bounce pass to Shumpert.
They've got numbers here.
Back to Shumpert. From the corner, just a little bit short. And the scoreboard really the shot clock's working on one side of the court but not the other. So I believe that shot should count for Brantley as confusion continues to prevail on the court. Got to get the scoreboard fixed. And a foul is called on Michael Robinson. I believe he was out of the lane during the free throw. Just those little mistakes are adding up to cost Fowler in this game.
They'll put a press on here to try to force some mistakes from the Red Rams.
Now Narelle Neal passes out to Anand. That's Schellinger, who gets his own rebound. Neal underneath the basket, and he gets a standing ovation from the bench, his first 2 points of the season.
Great job following his shot from Ben Schellinger, and then great pass to Neal, who converted through a lot of physicality.
Brantley still battling underneath the net. Unfortunately, it's an uphill battle right now. Now Shumpert, one person there. Easy little shot. And he does make it look so easy as he now has 19 points on the night. Anderson out to Reyes. Over to Brantley. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Puts it up one-handed. Eventually finds its way home.
And that was over a tough challenge from Neal there. Great shot.
21 points for Jalen Brantley. Don't get that lost in the shuffle. As Schellinger wide right on the free throw, and Narelle Neal steps out of bounds trying to get the rebound. Quick line change for Fowler. 4:40 left in this contest. The Falcons trying a new approach. They're going to take it slow. Andrew Rivers out to Brantley. Kind of an unintentional block by Anand. And Robinson ties his career high of 4 points.
Pass up to Shumpert.
Shumpert gets around his man. That was a great shot.
Way to readjust in midair. Had to kind of change the shooting angle, but still able to put it in the hoop.
Preston Shumpert, a human highlight reel here in DeWitt. As Brantley past two men. That's 23 points. 23 of 39 points for the Fowler Falcons, coming through the hands of Jalen Brantley. And 2 points coming off of Daniel Anand.
Great focus on the floater. Way to punch it in from Anand.
Reyes around the horn to Rivers. Gets it over Anand. Doesn't work out for Robinson. 3 substitutions coming on for the Red Rams. With 3 minutes remaining in the game, once again, we really appreciate all of you sticking around as Will Duran, Joe Shaka, and Brian Leiker will all get their first minutes of the season. And Brantley will put up a 3. 26 points tonight for Brantley. We've run out of room on the score sheet. I really got to adjust these score sheets so we've got enough room from now on. A hold on Robinson, who at this point doesn't even put up a fight. He just hangs his head and walks off the court. He's been called for a lot of fouls.
He has. That's something you typically notice with centers. They're in the paint. They got to challenge a lot of shots, and unfortunately means they're going to have to foul a lot.
He's not even going back to his seat. He's going to the back. No, I've got to give credit to the assistant head coach, Michael Goodman, here for talking down Michael Robinson. That's one of the unwritten responsibilities of the coaches, is to keep the players with their head in the game as much as possible.
And speaking of shout-outs, big shout-out to Nick DeCaney and Piper Moskow helping us out on producing and on the cameras.
Gliding in is Amir Anderson for his 6th point. And there's 2 more for Brantley. And Michael Robinson still has not returned to his seat. Narelle Neal controlling, tries for a shot from an awkward angle. Got closer than I could, but Brantley gets a rebound. Weaving through, rebounded by Anderson, gets another rebound. And Narelle Neal emphatically snatches it away. Gimme that, he says. Now sends it all the way down, but Shaka can't put it up.
Great defense and great rebounding there by Neal.
Out to Brantley. Past 4 people. Cuts a swath through the defense. That's 30 points. At this point, we might run out of room in the margins as there's a minute left in the game. Duran. Over to Cerrone. Inside, now it's Neal. Can't get the jumper. Rebounded by Rivers. Rivers takes it coast to coast himself, but it rolls off the rim. Brantley, 32 points. Clock is stopped with 30 seconds left.
Seems like they might have called a foul on the ground there.
So Alvarez passes into Anderson. Anderson under heavy pressure draws the foul. 25 seconds, 24 seconds. Anderson missed his only free throw so far today. Missed both of them. Still settling in with a respectable 6 points. And he is 0 for 3 from the stripe. Anderson gets it back immediately and gets some redemption.
Great hustle play to make up for those free throws.
14 seconds left. Off the hands of Brantley, taken away by Cerrone. No one there. Nothing doing, 7 seconds, it goes out. Shaking his head is Brian Leiker, I believe that is, who knew he had an opportunity. Hey, he's got another year of varsity after this. Rolled on the ground. 3 seconds, and Rivers is going to walk it out. And that's the game. The Jamesville-DeWitt Red Rams pick up their first victory of the season. The Fowler Falcons are now 0-6 as the Red Rams defeat Fowler 62-51.
Great game from Jamesville-DeWitt. They really needed a dominant win coming after that close loss to CBA, and that's what they did tonight. They dominated on offense, they dominated on defense, and they're just really happy. That's a very motivating win.
So thank you so much for joining us here live on YouTube on JDTV. My name is Sam Gelfand. On behalf of my broadcast partner, Tyler Aitken, and all of us here at JDTV, have a very good night wherever you may be.